Alright, this one's not for everyone because it is a smaller watch. At only 34 millimeter wide, it's small. For example, here it is on my seven and 1/8 inch wrist. But with those, again, not very long, but 41 millimeter lug to lug, you could definitely wear it. I mean, it's a dress watch. It's not for me. If I were into this kind of watch, I could honestly say that I would be very interested in purchasing one of these at only $200 and probably even less on the used market. But I guess my perspective on it is, if you're looking for a classic or vintage inspired watch, at $200, you're getting the Timex actually reissued this. So it's a reissue from a watch they had back in I think this particular dial layout was like in the 60s area or something like that, and it's hand wind only. This has actually a really nice seagull hand wind only movement in it, which as far as I can tell, is pretty nice. I'm going to throw it on the timegrapher and we're going to find out what it really does. I'm not expecting much, but I guess if you're a regular viewer of my channel, I think you'll kind of notice that I don't buy many used watches. I personally like to buy brand new watches, and I know that's not always or almost never the wisest thing to do. It's just a thing I have, so like that's my vice, I guess, you know what I mean. So sometimes you lose money on it and sometimes you don't, but there's the case back of it. Pretty cool, and you can see they even put the circa 2017 on there, so make sure you're not confused that it's not a vintage one. But you don't have any of the risk, of buying a vintage one, because I'm sure there is. And from what I can tell, those earlier Timex models like this, those movements weren't, if they are serviceable, they're very difficult because they're not screwed together. They're like riveted together plates. So there's tons of different pictures, articles, and videos out there on that. I'm going to keep this short because I like the idea, I like the thoughts behind, and I'm excited that Timex is actually doing something like this, but it's not, a personal watch that I would go after. This is something Bruce picked up, and he asked if I wanted to check it out, and I'm like, heck yeah. There was so much hype around this one. The strap is actually really nice too. There was so much hype around this one that I absolutely wanted to see it, and I like the whole concept. Plus, I wanted to show you guys, I know everybody is wondering, to compare this watch to, like, the iconic Seiko Monster. I know that's what everyone wants to see as far as size comparison and everything. So we're into the 3-minute mark, and most people tune out after like 2:20. So if you're still watching, then whatever, you're a watch nut. So tell you what, that's about all I can really say on this guy. There's tons of different articles out there and really good videos out there that go into way more detail. I think it's a great looking watch. I like the materials used. I like the overall looks of it. It's just not something you're going to find on my wrist. So I'm going to throw it on the timegrapher. Let's see what it does. All right. The old watch polygraph's getting fired up, so it should detect a beat here soon. This is my first time throwing it on there, so I didn't change any settings. I'm just throwing it on there and see what it does. So, and again, I know you guys explained to me the lift angle thing. I don't know what it's supposed to be on this one. I'm not going to set it. This is going to give us some sort of baseline, just so we kind of know, what you're going to see out of something like one of these. I've heard most people are seeing anywhere from plus or minus 10 seconds. So I think this one's going to be right on par with there. I think it's running just a touch slow on dial up. I'm not going to flip it around or anything like that. I wanted to make sure you didn't throw it on this thing and see, like, plus or minus crazy. Like when I had Riley's Nomos in, when I first checked that one, because it had been magnetized, it was at plus 100. That's how crazy, that one was off. So this one right here, those numbers, those look really good. That's a nice clean line. I'd be very happy with this one for how inexpensive this one is and what kind of movement that's in it, I think this is a very good performer. So, see you on the next video, guys.